Hi, tutor. In this opportunity, I'm going to explain the two lesson plans that I selected to my final activity. I'm going to start with the present continuous. As we know, this is a very easy present. So, in this opportunity, I choose a metacognitive strategy. Continue with this idea. The idea of a metacognitive strategy is because when we are working with adolescents, we need to be very focused in what they're gonna learn. So for that reason, we need to be accompanying them because in some opportunities they have a lot of views, and in this case, we can take a look and solve a lot of views that they have at the moment and correct mistakes that maybe they can have. As a principal objective, we search that the student can use present continuous in different activities or in different situations that could present in a normal life. Basically, we try to student can express what is doing or what is happening at one moment. The idea for develop this class is that we are gonna take about 15 minutes or maybe more for explain the topic, where students are gonna be attentive to the board. So the main idea is that we explain the topic as fast as we can, giving a support of every topic or subtopic that have present continuous. So after that, we're gonna develop two short activities. The first one is that we are going to use a recorder to put a record where we are going to listen a record about 3 minutes of kids in a break, and we are gonna like find what we are doing or what they are doing. Sorry. So uh, after that, I'm gonna give a questionnaire for every student, and every student is gonna like select one of the question for interpret or for express the idea. The next step is that we, as a teacher, are gonna play with a ball, and we're gonna throw the ball like randomly for select one student, and the student is gonna ask for what is the question that I want to he interpret. In the process of the activity, we're going to evaluate the different things that a student express while he's speaking, the way he recognize the activity in the record, what is doing each boy, and the writing part. Well, the idea is that after the game of the ball, uh, teacher is going to give a point for each correctly answer that the students give. The other part that I mentioned previously is about skills that students have. For ending the class, we go to the reflection of the class where teacher give a short reflection about the topic, try to do a review where the students can solve all doubts and correct mistakes for finish the class and for finish the topic. Let's take a look to the next slide. This activity is developed for adults because this is considered as a very difficult topic. Um, in this opportunity, I choose present perfect, and I'm gonna use this activity with a cognitive strategy because when we use a cognitive strategy, we can you use this strategy for make students so or more social, and it could help when we are practicing a very difficult topic. When we talk about present perfect, we know that this is a very difficult topic, and in this case, it has a lot of conjugation of verbs. It's the case of irregular verbs that have a different way to write, and it can like confuse the students. For that reason, we are going to focus in this opportunity in help the student to understand how we write and how we conjugate these verbs. This class, the first thing that we are going to do is to explain the topic over the board. Students need to be very focused because, as I told you previously, this is a very difficult topic, and the idea is that students understand a lot the use of auxiliaries and the use of the different verbs. taking in account that here divided into there are regulars and irregulars. So for that reason, we need to be very patient and focused at the moment to teach, because depending on the teaching, a student is gonna understand what we're gonna do in the next part of the activity. Well, for the other test, the activity, the first thing that we are going to do is to create a short conversation where a student can show how much he understands the topic and how much he can explain or express the ideas about this topic. The main activity in this case, we're going to put in a bag the name of the students, all students present in class, and the we can use about 20 regular verbs and 20 irregular verbs for develop this activity. The idea is that the student take a name and take a verb, and he is going to create a short conversation about the person using the verb given. Um, as we know, this is very difficult, so the teacher needs to be like involved with the topic, paying attention and solving duties at the moment. Well, the main factor to evaluate this activity is going to be focused in how a student can create the different conversation using the perfect tense. The idea is that the main part of the evaluation will be focused in the capacity of a student to create conversation. It will be the 75% of the grade. The other part of the evaluation will be focused in the pronunciation and the fluency that the student will have at the moment of talk about the conversation or talk about the topic. It will be about 25%. So the idea is that the student can develop a short conversation and the different skills that he needs to express the conversation. Well, for the conclusion of the class, we take a review of the verbs because in this case is the principal part of this tense. We need to be focused about if verbs are regulars or irregulars, and we need to socialize the different uh, conjugations that it has. For this part of the class, a tutor will be focused in students learn a lot of verbs because it will be necessary. And in this part, we finish the class.